Guys, we are back on the Super, and let this sit for a few days, so she should be sealed up pretty good if she's gonna work. So there you go. There's the push rod seal, so we can actually put that back in. Everything is damp in my shop because I have no insulation out here, and everything's gross. So this thing is actually clean. So we're gonna shove this up through again. She should be fine. Like I said, it's just sealing. It's only supposed to seal that rod in the engine. No big deal. All right, so that's back installed. So now, I was actuating the clutch lever here, and you can see disgusting fluid coming down through. This tells me that this does work. And here I went and bought a brand new one to throw on. So got a brand new one to throw on here, and all master cylinder problems would be fixed. Not to say that this does or does not work, but I didn't feel like cleaning it and finding out it didn't work. So what I think I might do is level this out, put new fluid in here. I'll clean this out first. Let's take some brake fluid and just wipe in around there. Put some new fluid in and chase new fluid down through the line, because there is dirty brake fluid in the line for the clutch before I put the new guy back on. So here's our slave cylinder. She's all ready to go. I did clean up the banjo bolt that's here, and cleaned up the bolts for the slave a little bit, and then this extra bracket there that actually mounts the metal piece on. So all that's ready to go. I'm sorry, the reason I haven't been talking is because my voice is kind of crappy due to a cold. So as we can see, we got air in the system, of course, but it is still working and pushing fluid down through. So like I said, I'm going to clean this up with a little bit of brake fluid, wipe it out. I gotta situate this bike so I can turn the handlebars a little bit to level this out. And we're gonna chase some clean brake fluid down through so that we have a clean system when we hook everything else up. I'll probably continue using this and see if it all pressurizes. And without the bike running, it's kind of hard to tell if your clutch is working, but we'll get some pressure in this line, and then we'll know that it's working. So I'm gonna clean this up and do what I said. I just literally scraped this stuff out of the corner of this thing. Oh, that's bad. This thing has not been serviced in a long time. So I took some brake fluid, put it in there, scrape it out what I can first, and then we'll mop up what's in there yet. All right, so I took a pick and I went in there and got all the dry stuff out of there. It's a real mess in there, but it's actually cleaning up quite nice. Can't see in there too good. There we go. Now we got the light. So, like I said, there's dry stuff in there. Just going in and scraping it out in all these grooves, everything. If you really want to get this clean, you got to get in all these little crevices, just like a dentist. Get all that plaque and tartar buildup, all that crap out there. And then when you use brake cleaner, when you spray that in there, be careful. Cover the stuff you don't want it to get on. It'll stain. That's why I have my gauges covered with a box. I don't really have much else, but the brake fluid cans usually have pretty heavy flow, so just be careful of that. And it'll push some of this stuff out. You want to make sure get in around everything. You don't want dirt going down there, but what are you going to do? It's already in this system. So when you blow it out, if you blow it out, make sure you have eye protection on. Do as I do. Do as I say, not as I do. Get some of this stuff out. It's better to use a different air source, like an air compressor. But like I said, make sure that stuff's going to fly in the air, so be very careful. So we might leave this on here. Let's go ahead and put some new fluid in here. See if I can push it out through the bottom. And Then we can hook everything back up. Maybe we'll use this master cylinder for now. We got this one cleaned up pretty good, so let's go ahead, dump in some good old .3 brake fluid here. Cover up that hole. Here, I'm not even showing you what I'm doing. Let's get her in there, and we're gonna push this. So right now, this should just sit in here. We're gonna have to keep making sure it's topped off as we do this. I'm hoping we can push this down through the hose and drop out all the dirty brake fluid that's down. Whoops. I just hit that as I was walking past it. So we're gonna have to build this up a little bit. Build up pressure in here. See the bubbles? There's a lot of air in this system now. That's my fault. So we might not be able to do this because of all the air in the line. But we're gonna try nonetheless. See if we can get it to come out the bottom here. Catch it in our container down here. So as I pump this, get away from there. Okay. As I pump this, we should get fluid. I might have to use my hand to try and create back pressure on this thing and get it to suck down the line. So I might have to do this, create some pressure here so I can get pressure back in the line so I can pull it down through. Let's try that. I didn't think that would work as planned. Probably need to burp this though because we have air in the master. So that's fine. We'll have to pump this up, hold this in, burp air out of there, see if we can get air out of that banjo bolt. And I think I'll set this up and we're gonna push the old fluid down, have a closed system so everything works right. So we're gonna do this the right way and not just try to get it by with just being cheap. So still have some crappy fluid up around here around the corners. So we're gonna should clean that out too. Like I said, we may or may not use this master. Like I said, we have the good one right over here. So I found this in the master cylinder as I was pumping. There's a little bit of tin foil. It's weird. Just sitting right down here in the corner. I didn't see it from the other side, but I saw it from this side. So let me grab a 12. We'll burp this guy right here, see if we got any air in there. And we'll put the system all back together here and do this right. Hey, I figured out where the aluminum foil came from, the top of my brake fluid. So I'm losing my voice, guys. I'm losing my voice. So I did pull this off and I held my finger here and built pressure from the master. So the master does work, so that's good. Now we're going to put this back on. Now that we cleaned it out a little bit, there's a little bit of staining there. So we're gonna put this back on here. That's gonna go there. And then this has got the banjo bolts on it. Clean this up a little bit. Need my other washer. There's that. That's gonna go on the inside and I gotta secure this back up. All right, so then I held my fingers on this line and I pumped up the top there and I did get pressure building up here. So now our fluid is going the whole way down from up here, which we are dry on. We have to add some new fluid up here. We're getting low before we suck in air from the top. So we have primed everything and we're open on the bottom, unfortunately. So there we go. Put more fluid in there before it comes out. No, I'm just making a mess. All right. So now, like I said, this is open and it's dripping, so we can definitely know that we're pushing fluid down through. I don't think, see now I'm just pushing fluid. There it is. Now we're just running fluid right down through. So this system works. So in essence, when I reinstall all this, right now all I'm doing is pushing fluid through. It's actually pretty clean. So I'll push another full master cylinder through here. And honestly, I shouldn't be releasing this. I am letting air in and out as I'm doing this. This is dumb. You should right now put your fingers on there, pull in, and then cover it up so you're not sucking air through. But as I release the lever, I suck air back through, which is not smart. But it seems to be working to push our fluid down through. That's all I want, just to push fluid down through. It does look pretty clean, so I think we're going to put this back together and bleed it through the bleeder nipple right there. And we should be good. So, see, we're dripping clean fluid. I'm good with that. All right, 8mm bolts got the slave cylinder in. We got that one, and that one. Make sure they're all evenly torqued. I don't know the numbers, I just torqued them down tight. And then 12mm banjo bolt as I pump up here again. This could actually, now that everything's pressurized, we could just get full pressure building. It is possible. Let's see. Still nothing. Got a lot of air in there, so what I'm gonna do is bleed this as we need to. And I need to get, let's see, that's an 8mm on the bleeder bolt. Pump this up. I gotta get a line and my bottle, and we'll bleed this properly now that she's all back together. All right, so you've watched this before. If you know the channel, I'm not gonna do a whole thing about bleeding your brakes or your clutch today, but I got my line on here. We're gonna pump up the jam. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I'm gonna hold this and see if I get, when I crack this, see if I get some fluid out. And that's gonna bring the air out too. All right, we didn't get any fluid out that time. I'm not feeling pressure building here. Well, there's a little bit of fluid in there, I think. Okay, gonna crack it again. All right, we had to start up here. See all these air bubbles coming up when I do this? You can see them right there. See all these air bubbles? That's working the air up through here. So I ended up bleeding it here. A lot of air came out of here, sputtered out, so be careful. That's brake fluid shooting out at you. So you pump this up, hold it in, crack that, let the air come out. Now I just have fluid popping out. So that tells me when I do this, we're good from here to here, and now we have to go down there again. So we'll pump this up. And we'll crack this until we get the air all out of this spot. So, like I said, I'm not gonna do that tutorial here. That's been on a lot of videos. You can go back and watch brake bleed, clutch bleed on my channel. And maybe I'll even link one to this video up in the corner. So here's where we are. I'll let you know when we got pressure. Now that the air's out up there, you can see this fluid coming out here. We're getting lots of bubbles. So I got this fluid, see it right there. It's all clean, so we're happy with that. But all these bubbles are coming out. And we're gonna start feeling some pressure pretty soon here on the clutch. Pumping it up. Pumping it up. Crack this and we'll be good. Well, I got my fluid coming up the whole way up here. I'm not getting any air bubbles out of here now, so you can probably disconnect this. You see my lines right here. I like to use a line because you're not getting air anywhere close to that nipple when you open it. So we are good to go, I believe. And not getting any bubbles up here anymore. When I actuate this, we're not getting air coming up through the return. So that means the fluid is fully through the system. And the other thing we'll do is just tie this open overnight, a couple days, whatever. When I come back, that's gonna let any other air up through there that's hiding anywhere. So I don't know, this feels a little mushy yet, but it doesn't feel completely dead. So knowing that we have pressure throughout the system here, I think that's gonna be it for this video. We're not getting any leaks. Looks dry. So I'm gonna crank this a couple more times, like I said. And then we're gonna put the cap on. This stuff all needs wiped off. I don't know if that's just brake fluid or if it's just moisture that's in this garage, but we don't want to get dirt in there or moisture introduced, so we're gonna cap it off. I think it's just, yeah, it kind of feels like brake fluid. All right, guys, so that's it for now. We didn't put on a new master, but this one seems to be working fine, and it cleaned up pretty nice. So that's where we are, that's where we is, and I don't know, we'll have to get this thing running and then see if the clutch functions. Probably will. And go get a rubber band or something to hold this tight. I think I have something here I can use. Yeah, this will work. So I'll just pull this tight and strap it to the bar, and then leave that overnight for a couple days. Don't let me forget to put that cap on. I gotta wipe that off and then let this thing sit. So thanks for watching. I'll see you guys later. Have a great night. Bye. There she is, all ready to sit for a day or two. I don't know where the metal is, but remember this one broke off and I had to get that screw out. I'll have to find 2 other screws and the proper lid, but I didn't know they were gonna be salvaged. Here's the lid. I thought we were gonna be replacing this whole thing. Yeah, here's the lid. I'll have to clean that up. That's old brake fluid. And then these screws are pretty much swappable from any set, so I'm sure I have screws around for that. Even new ones. I bet I have new ones from some of the sets to rebuild these. So I'll find screws and that, and then we'll be good to go.